Hey, unstuckers. Welcome to Casual Friday. This is where Josh and I take a mo to work on our own businesses, to brainstorm, and really keep the ball rolling. Be sure to check out Wednesday's episode. If you missed it, we talked to Andrew Ryder. He has a really interesting story that's landed him into writing, and he spoke to us all about why it's important to be unique when creating content. So if you haven't, go back, check that out, episode 158. And today, here, welcome to Cash Fry. This is Josh. Or
Hi.
that way, maybe.
I think you had it right the first time.
Okay.
We'll find out in post.
That's
Hi.
Josh. What's up, dude?
Not much. How are you and where are you, Cel?
Oh, I love that question. So for those of you who are BNIers out there, you'll understand that joke. For those of you who aren't, just listen to one BNI podcast and you'll understand exactly why he said that.
Just one.
Just one. I am in Croatia. We got here about 2-ish hours ago after a very long 5-hour drive from Salzburg, Austria. Prior to that, we were in Munich. It has been a fun / really crazy 3 days. But we're here for the beach, and this city looks like it was bombed in World War I and World War II and never rebuilt. So I'm really excited to explore Pula.
Huh. Does it look like that because that's true?
Perhaps, or just the country doesn't do a very good job of taking care of the buildings. I'm not really sure. They look like
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You should find out while you're there.
Fun fact, it's part of the EU, but they do not take the euro here. I was researching that prior to this, so we have to figure out how to get the currency that...
What's the currency? Is it the krona?
It's the kuna.
Kuna. Right, there you go.
Yeah, so
cool.
That's where I'm at. What about you, Josh? Pleasantries.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Cel, I am not in Europe, anywhere in Europe. I am still in New Mexico, and it's been fucking humid here because of rain, which we rarely get, which is lovely. But then I hate the humidity where my swamp cooler doesn't work. So, give and take.
I feel you, man.
Yeah, but it has been a crazy week, mostly business-wise, so we'll talk about that soon.
Hell yeah. So are you saying I should set the timer for 10 minutes and 2 seconds that you can tell us all about your week?
We gotta check in on goals.
Oh shit, you're right, dude.
Nazis and riffle enthusiasts are getting our money or not.
How did I completely forget about the most important part of the show?
It's okay. You're semi on vacation. I don't even know technically why you're here. You should have just opted out this week.
You're right. For those of you listening to the podcast, I'm now pouring a second glass of wine. Mm-hmm. Excellent. So
very good.
Are you asking me if I got my shit done, or should I ask you if you got?
Oh. I'll ask you. Did you get your shit done, Cel, or am I giving your money to the National Riffle Association?
I did get my shit done. So my thing was to SEO the shit out of my site and put sexy pictures up, sexy food pictures, that is. And I did for all 25 plus blogs. And a lot of them, I wrote early on, so they were absolute shit. So I had to rewrite them, make them look good, make sure they were greater than 500 words. So it was actually something substantial. And then I SEO'd the shit out of them.
Nice. Did you cut any for low traffic?
I did. Yeah, those? I ended up cutting 7 or 8 probably.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. There was one more goal though, Cel.
I think it
was.
Did
you do your other goal?
To vacation, and I'm presently doing that / also working.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. All right.
That was a hard one.
I wouldn't want to donate your money to the National Riffle Association because you forgot to go on vacation.
All right. If I recall, yours was one big monumental goal from last week. Okay.
Yeah. Well, 2, but mostly 1. One big monumental goal was to do the initial SEO process myself for JBit. That's all the as if JBit was a client.
Yes.
All the onboarding of setting up accounts across the web and connecting Google Analytics to Google Search Console to Google whatever to the website. and stuff like that. This is a long and boring task, but it is done.
Nice.
And it was made somewhat shorter by the fact that I've already been doing SEO on my site. Therefore, some of these things were just check on it. Yes, it's there. Write it down. Check it
Nice.
off. So thank goodness for that, because if I didn't, that would have been a much longer, more boring process. But it was good. It was good. I did that, and then the other one was to start brainstorming names for this digital marketing agency
Yes.
that I'm apparently making, and I did. I did start doing that, and I'm going to ask for your help soon
Okay.
with more brainstorming on that. So
Cool. I Googled some
yeah.
words, so I feel like I do have something to contribute there.
Ooh, look at you with your Googling. So yeah, so the Nazis will not be getting my money. What does that mean? That means suck it, Nazis.
I'm sorry, Nazis. Not really, but you know.
Don't be sorry. Fuck the Nazis. All right.
Excellent.
That's right. I'm taking a hard stance here. I know it may be shocking for some, but
I think it's a little controversial.
super controversial. Fuck it. Fuck you, Nazis.
All right. With that lovely note,
I'm on fire today. I'm coming in hot.
you already have 3 more fucks than I do, so
Fuck.
4. I'm gonna keep a tally for today. Excellent.
Yeah, but we both did one right there, so we're still matched.
All right, 10 minutes, 2 seconds on the clock. Go.
Okay, first I gotta start with the funnel thing, because I've been threatening to talk about that for weeks. So funnel, I want to get your idea on or feedback on this. I could eventually make, like, a PDF blah 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 giveaway like I've done before with a fully online funnel, and maybe I will. But right now, the main source of leads is Magdalene going to BNI, and for that, it's less of like, well, go to this website and click on this link and give me your email and download this PDF. That would be an awkward, weird transitional funnel. So for this funnel, what I'm thinking of doing, and actually have started doing, is giving away a free 30-minute consultation on their website, where I just go over like SEO basic stuff that I can see without being on the back end, as well as like some of Donald Miller's recommendations and other trainings I've been on website design slash SEO design. And it's basically like, let me just chat at you for 30 minutes. We'll go through your website. I'll tell you what I think you should change to get more sales. And if you'd like, you can leave and go change those things.
Yeah.
No pressure, right? But hopefully what that does is it builds a lot of trust and a lot of authority. Sounds like I know what I'm talking about. and hopefully they walk away going like, well, that all sounds like really good stuff to do, but also I don't want to have to do that. Can you do that?
Yeah. Or even like, I don't know how to do that.
Or I don't know how to do that. Or as I've already had this week, a meeting where somebody was like, we don't like our current web guy. Like, cool. Well, tell him to either do these things or have me do it.
Yeah.
One of the two. So that is my initial like freebie offer that I think I wanted to get your outside opinion on, is like, does it build authority, get a foot in the door? Does it offer enough value for people to want to take you up on it? And does it seem always straddling that line between, not being high pressure sales, but also letting you know what I can do for you?
Yes. I think at least initially, because like you have all of these prospects in the BNI world, right? Like I'm assuming like 25 to 35 at least, depending on how big the group is. So yeah, I think offering that to everyone in that group, like as part of a one-to-one or like in addition to a one-to-one, just so that they can get an idea of like what you can offer them, and then they are able to say, hey, like I just did this with this guy and I think you would really benefit from it from your site too. So maybe doing it whether they ask for it or not, or just like asking them if it would be cool, like as Mag starts to do one-to-ones with them, just to get your foot in the door so that they can really understand how much you know. Because yes, she can say every week like the same 30-second spiel, but it's not going to be until she gets 10 minutes that she can really explain things. But then for them to be able to see how it's going to benefit them or their clients directly, doing that and breaking it down for them, I think is going to be really important for you. So it doesn't have to be all at once, but I think doing some type of website audit is going to be really important.
That's what it is, a website audit.
I thought you wrote that
Yes.
down like
So
2 weeks ago.
you did, but I forgot to say what it was today. So there you go. And so yeah, so cool. So that's the first step, and then the second step is just outreach again, check on them. Did they change anything? If I haven't heard anything from them in a month, like maybe just check their website. Did they make those changes? If they did, just ask them like, hey, do you think they're having an impact? Just curious. Hope everything's going well.
Yeah.
To stay in touch. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to be kind of a like, well, now you're on my email list kind of thing. It's going to be more like you'll either do it yourself because you're a DIYer, but I've built authority so you can go easily refer to me and Mags out in the world because you feel like, yeah, these people know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want the services right away.
Yeah.
So
put them into definitely some type of like follow-up email campaign though.
mm-hmm.
Like an automated
Mm-hmm.
one so you don't have to think about it. And like after you do these, you just toss them into that, and it's a little bit salesy, but it's also just like nurturing and checking in on them.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So that's one thing. And the other thing I was thinking, I'm not doing this yet because actually, oh, that was a lot of like static.
Oh.
No worries. I'm not doing this yet, but actually, the BNI has already garnered a ton of interest. We've already had 2 meetings this week and 2 or 3 other people who are starting to have interest in trying to schedule with Mags right now
Wow.
on doing a meeting, meet and greet. So dang, she's killing it at BNI already, which is amazing. Also, I'm learning it's so much easier to sell something with a promise of return on investment than just something, right?
Yeah.
It's easier to say, give me money and I will make you more money
Yeah.
in your business, right? Than saying like, let me teach you how to podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sure as shit did not want to promise people you'll make a shit ton of money podcasting, because I can't guarantee that. A lot
Yeah.
of people don't, including us. So
Accurate.
So anyway, so the other thing I was thinking eventually is for cold outreach of
Mm-hmm.
local businesses here. I could do. I'm sure you've seen it. A lot of business owners have seen it. You get an email every so often from someone who
Mm-hmm.
says they can do SEO,
Yeah.
and you should just call them. And for the most part, I assume, if not 100% of the time, you ignore that email. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, so I do not feel like I really want to send out 1,000 emails to get one response in that fashion.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking was just highly targeting, like, all right, eventually, like right now I'm busy because BNI is working, but if it slows down, like target a business,
Mm-hmm.
a type of business, because we're going to only do one type of business per market. So like we're going to only find one dentist in Albuquerque because
Yep.
we're not going to compete against ourselves. So let's look for a dentist, and I'll spend the week just looking for dentists who don't rank well
Yep.
on Google, and I'll do like a 5-minute Loom video. I'm like, here's your website, here's what I think you should change, here's what else we can do for you. Hope that helps. If nothing else, if you want us to do any more, give me a call.
Yeah.
And that way it's like, it's the same thing, right? But it's just unsolicited. Like
Yeah.
it's like, here's some free advice about your website. And if you want more, come talk to me. And then just do that for a week or 2 until I get a dentist, and then I move on to the next occupation.
Yeah. Dude, I love that. That's really
So
smart.
similar funnel thing, but not the stupid email that's like, hey, did you know you don't rank well? And I got one of those last week, and like as of now, I do rank well, thank you. So
don't be rude.
All right. So the other thing I'll need your help with is brainstorming.
Okay.
So here are, hold on, I should have had this in front of me. I'm looking it up. Here are some names that me and Magdalene have come up with. So keep in mind what we're looking for here is a name that says what we do. So like JBit Tech was a stupid name because I have to explain to everybody what I do.
Yeah.
Right. And and that's fine. However, for SEO purposes, it's dumb because like the literally the best name I could probably have for the digital marketing company is Albuquerque SEO and digital marketing.
Hmm.
Because if somebody types in Albuquerque SEO or Albuquerque digital marketing,
You come
I'll
up.
pop up because it's my name.
Yeah.
However, there is a company in Albuquerque called Albuquerque SEO, and good for them. So that might sound very bland, but as far as being found, and I think it's really important in if I'm going to peddle SEO and stuff that I be found.
Hmm.
Um, that so in terms of being found, that's a great name. So other ideas, ABQ SEO because people shorten Albuquerque to ABQ. I think that's probably a bad idea because if Albuquerque SEO gets a bad review, someone might actually accidentally give me a bad review.
Yeah.
It's like too similar. Um, so branching out a little bit, because I can always put like Albuquerque all over the website and get that local traffic in a different way, as long as SEO and digital marketing are kind of in the name.
Hmm.
So thoughts. Page one SEO and digital marketing. First click SEO and digital marketing, or digital marketing and SEO. Either way, I don't know which way sounds better. SEO Web Builders Plus, Marketing Lens SEO and web design. Those are some of what we've come up with so far. Is your dog barking? Hi, Luna. Is Luna there? I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. Stand by, YouTube. We're fighting with the dog. What's she barking at?
We're in an apartment and someone's in the hallway, but they live here.
Yeah, she's guarding.
Yeah. She's not allowed to do that at home either. So.
My dog is dead asleep, so there you go.
Okay. Remind me of that last one.
The last one was Marketing Lens, SEO, and web design.
Okay. So your goal as an SEO person, yes, is to have your SEO like on point so that you can like inherently like garner people via the interwebs and your other platforms. But your goal, like your customer's goal, is to rank higher, right? Hence, like the page one or first click. Are there other companies in other cities that are taking that same tactic? I don't know if you've searched that or not.
I have not researched that.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I didn't know if that was like a common thing to do, but I understand where your mindset's going there. So when I was brainstorming a little bit, I was thinking of like Propel, Launch, like, but then I know for a fact that there's already a company in Albuquerque called Rocket SEO, but like they have that same mindset to launch. So I think yours, like the first page, first click, like first in mind, is probably a better approach than launching.
Yeah, because based on the others in Albuquerque, it's different.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's Rocket and there's Albuquerque SEO. So
yeah. And honestly, I was also Googling it. They all have very few and reviews. So being in BNI, if you take that same like mentality and that same ideology that you have with JBit and have everyone who has an awesome experience with you leave you a review, dude, you're going to skyrocket in no time. Like, no pun intended. So
totally.
I think,
and I noticed one of the SEO companies that has a lot of reviews posted their prices online, and they're pretty cheap. And I was like, damn, I don't know how you do all that for that little money.
Yeah.
And then I looked at their reviews, and they have like 2.2 average stars. I was like, oh, that's why you pay for you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree. Somebody walked into JBit just like a couple weeks ago and was like, we were just looking for a computer place, and you have really good reviews, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, nobody has 5 stars, and it's not just their mom and their cousin. I was like, right, it's B and I. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think you're in the right direction with like the first click, page one, and then the book something. I can't remember that last one. That one's not sticking with me, so maybe not on that one.
Page one, first click, and yeah, those I think are the two that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So I think either of those would be really good. I'm not leaning towards one more or the other. What would you say is your like top one or top two at this point?
I think those are the top two. I like page one. I think the best. However, it is in second place in my mind because page one is or was a bookstore in
Mm,
Albuquerque. So for at least the local market, if not elsewhere, that might be confusing
yeah.
because they might go, "Oh, page one is back."
Yeah, I can see that being
um,
confusing too.
yeah, so I think because of that reason, first click is my first choice.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking page one. Also, my mind automatically goes to like books rather than SEO. Even though you're gonna have like
Your mind what? Sorry,
my mind
you
automatically goes to books with page one versus SEO, regardless if I knew it was a bookstore or
mm-hmm.
not. So
Yeah,
clicking.
yeah, totally. Um,
And then
cool. So maybe it's that,
as far as websites go, is that available? As far as social media goes, do you want to have a social media presence? Like those are the next thoughts with that.
right? Right. Yeah. Yep.
So maybe have like a top two
I'll find out.
and
I think
church
that's
and search to make sure that all of those are available for you. I mean, that's what we did with Unstuck.
yeah, totally. That's exactly how we named Unstuck. We had a lot of ideas, and then we went to the ones that were available.
Accurate.
uh, cool. Awesome. Was that my time? Are we out of time yet?
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago.
How come I can never hear it? Were you muted
No,
and yelling at your
I
dog
put
during
it
it?
right next to my mic.
Man. Also, I don't. It's not going to matter on YouTube probably, but for me, you were cutting out for most of what you were talking about, so maybe I just missed that part.
Super.
Super.
Freaking Croatian interwebs.
Croatia, come on. All right. Well, that's that. Let's go to my timer, not my camera. Golly. 10 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Brett.
Go.
Okay, so the SEO thing really did take a big chunk of the week. I think that took probably like 12 to 15 hours total, which is insane. So at least I'm done with it. And now going forward, I'm going to have all of the links that I need like ready to go, easily like weavable into my blogs. So I'm not worried about that. But whew, yeah, that was fun. I mean, really, that's what I did this week. That was like through the weekend as well. So I went to my mastermind meeting on Tuesday. I believe I had a goal for the week, and to be 100% honest, I was in Munich, so I had a liter and a half of beer, and I don't actually recall what my goal was for said mastermind. But in the morning, I saw my notes, and there was something along the lines of podcasting plus how to use in pipeline. Oh, there we go. How to use my podcast in the pipeline of like bringing in new clients. So what I noted this week is that Instagram reach has been down significantly, and I think it's because a lot of families are going on vacation, so they're spending less time on on Instagram. And like I have Pinterest like as like a 6 to 8 month down the line, like hopefully that'll get me some traction. But for right now, I need something pretty immediate. Like I would like to make sales within the next 4 weeks for the middle of August course, and that's 3 weeks away. That's not even 4 weeks away anymore. That is 3 weeks away, and Instagram is not necessarily doing that for me at this point. So I think thinking of other ways to bring in clientele and brainstorming that is going to be really important. With the podcast, it was fine. I've been on like a 2 or 3 month hiatus at this point, just because it was not fun anymore, to be completely honest. And I was like pushing it off until like the very last minute and then
Mm-hmm.
half-assing it. So I just need to get a better mindset and bring back the podcast. But my listenership was fine. It wasn't great, and I've found that to be the trends for podcasts in general over the past couple of months, that listenership has kind of just been down. So I honestly don't know if that's going to be the
Mm-hmm.
right way to go for bringing people into a funnel in a different way. I'm trying to think of where busy moms hang out, and it's definitely Pinterest. It's probably Facebook groups, but Facebook groups are so oversaturated, like so oversaturated. Um, Clubhouse was good, but it's not what it was 6 months ago by any means. Like, I think it was really this big hype back in February when more people were getting it. And now it's really just a platform for people to sell their stuff. And that's kind of shitty. And I don't want to be one of the like hundreds of people on there being like, you got to buy my product and this is why. Like, I would much rather just use that platform to have a conversation with people. I feel like that's really what it was meant for. And like, inclusive in community, like that's really what it was for. So I think different ways of bringing people into the pipeline. And honestly, I mean, I wrote it down as podcasting being one of them, but I think my business coach was just like, oh, you have a podcast, like try that out. But there's also a lot more that goes into like marketing that and making sure that those people are nurtured in addition to an email list, in addition to a Facebook group. Like, yes, you can
Mm-hmm.
reuse this content, but it takes time to put all of it together. So I think my statement / question for you is, with Instagram not being as consistent during the summer months, if you can think of any ways, like in addition to bring people into the funnel, to at least get them excited about a product like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you have any, I don't know Pinterest, but do you have any way of knowing if Pinterest is experiencing a similar summertime slump?
Yeah, there's Pinterest trends, so you can
Mm-hmm.
track not necessarily how many people are on it, but you can track how many clicks your posts have been getting, how many views your posts have been getting, and if there's any off-site clicks to your
Mm-hmm.
specific information.
And has that been lower as well as
I haven't
Instagram?
checked this past week, but I would say from the beginning of June, like through the end of June, it was pretty good. And then the last time it was on was about a week and a half ago, because I planned 2 weeks at a time, and it had been a little bit lower throughout July. I expect that
Mm-hmm.
to kind of boost up as the school year begins and people start coming back from vacation. So it really just is the month of July that is fantastically, tremendously slow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, good news is July's almost over.
Yeah, definitely.
um, yeah. So let's see. I I know you've done a little bit of this in the past, but what about guesting on other people's podcasts?
That has also become significantly harder. So I was able to guest on it when I was speaking on Clubhouse, because that, like, people already hear you. They're already like engaged in what you're speaking about. But
Mm-hmm.
we're really lucky that we take on guests, I don't want to say fairly easily here on the Unstuck Institute, but like, you and I review, like, have a process for reviewing them. And I feel like a lot of the times, especially with like mom-based podcasts, it kind of just gets like shuffled and shuffled and shuffled down the email list. I've probably pitched to
Mm.
50 plus and heard back from 5.
Mm.
And I've noticed that a lot of people book out literally months in advance. So I have one that I booked in March for September.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it is doable, but it's also just not consistent. So
Yeah, and it's not fast if people are booking that far out.
yeah.
Um, but I think guesting on the right podcast could be really beneficial. Kind of a longer term marathon kind of a thing for you.
Yeah.
Not a quick fix for July 2021.
No, not at all.
um, hmm. And what are your other avenues at this point?
I was doing Facebook groups, but truthfully, like you get lost in the noise because everyone's got their own shtick that
Yeah,
they're
everyone's doing
pitching, you
something.
know.
Hmm.
Again, Pinterest, but that's also going to be a super slow burn. Like my estimates are like 5 to 8 months like ROI on that if you're pinning consistently and if you're pinning content that
Hmm.
people want to see. So I think I've gotten better
Right.
with that like the last month. But again, I'll maybe see that in January of next year.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I just have to. I think I have to noodle this around a little bit more. Maybe stepping away from it this week will be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I always find I get my best ideas when I go on vacation
Yeah,
because I'm actively not trying to think about business, and all of a sudden, great ideas come up. So
yeah.
I
So
think that'll be good for you for a multitude of reasons.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so I'll check back in with both of those. Um, this week though is the second week of the beta trial of Killing It in the Kitchen, and I had
Hmm.
5 moms sign up, 2 half-ass it, and like have not gotten back to me. How like have not done any of the feedback, which is really annoying because like if you say you're gonna do something and you like whether you have time or not, you say you're gonna do it, friggin' do it. If you don't have time, say you can't do it, and I'm fine with that. Just follow
Hmm.
through if you're gonna do shit. I hate that.
People are great at that. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. So that's frustrating. But the 3 who have like followed through have given me tremendous feedback. There was no one on the call today when I hopped on, which is unfortunate. But I think I mentioned last week, like having that 10-minute span of like, hey, like this is going to be the topic. You can stay on after that to ask me questions if you want, or you can peace after the 10 minutes. But that 10 minutes is going to benefit you based off of what you told me. And I know I mentioned last week like doing a quick call, but I can even just do like a quick like Google form like I had for these like beta runs, but do it like
Hmm.
actually incorporate it into the course. Be like, hey, like please fill this out. This is going to help like guide the 2 10-minute sessions over the next 2 weeks, and I think this is really going to benefit you. So you mentioned scaling it next week and it not being scalable to touch base with everyone, but if they just fill it all into a Google form, then I can create something that's going to be a little bit more geared towards their needs, whether that be like picky eating, like family dinners, mindfulness, workouts, something along those lines.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm going to revamp that aspect of the course, get it up for the mid-August launch, and still try and push that. Um, yeah, I would very much like the income and to help people before school starts and it becomes a shit show and harder for them with their like busier lives. So that's really the
Right.
push.
Yeah.
I'm gonna funnel through probably that information this weekend if I have some downtime while the fam bam is napping. Um, I'll be able to just kind of sort through that info and get a better idea of like what people need. But yeah, those are my updates.
Yeah. Nice. Um, One thing based on that, like if you have a launch coming up, maybe you just focus on cross promotion this time. You know, like if other channels are drying up right now, um, like who do you know who has an email list of people at least somewhat tangentially related that they wouldn't mind you being one of the things in their next email, you know? And you can do that too. You can reciprocate eventually when the timing is right for them
I have
on your
someone I
email
can do
list.
that with right now.
Yeah. So maybe when you're done with vacation,
Mhm.
like first take vacation, you'll have better ideas. But
Yeah,
but when you come back, maybe instead of worrying about Instagram so much, just worry about make a list. Don't forget anyone. Who do you know who has an email list? That you can ask them, hey, here's my window, a week before the launch or something. Is there any way I can get in front of your audience and offer them this?
yeah,
Give them a freaking discount code if you want,
yeah,
whatever works for individuals and your relationship with them for
yeah.
cross promoting. But I've been on a few email lists where I'm on like multiple email lists and
Hmm.
I see the same promotion come in
That's
because
funny.
it's like part of the music industry or
Yeah,
something, and I'm like, look at this cross promotion happening.
dude,
But
that's really smart.
um, yeah, and I think if it's basically riding the coattails of somebody else who's already
Doing it.
built up trust with their audience.
Yeah.
So as long as you come from a place of like, not that you would, but like just advice to unstuckers out there in this kind of thing, like you don't want to come from a place of like, will you please help me?
Yeah.
It's more like, I'm doing this thing, I think it would be valuable to your audience. Do you think I could offer this to your audience, and is there any way I can make it even more valuable to your audience?
Yeah.
Right. And then you're just taking basically content writing off of their plate for one of their emails.
Yeah.
So great.
Dude, I love that. Okay, that's officially, that is one of my goals for this week, to reach out to 3 people to be able to
Cool.
do that. I already have 2 written down, and I'm sure I can find a 3rd.
Yeah, do it. Cool. All right, anything else? Like it's been 2 minutes over, but you still have like 3 minutes of overtime because I had 5 minutes of overtime. So.
I think the cross promo and I'm going to do at least the first 2 emails of my new like funnel inwards, because if I'm reaching out to these people, they need to have a solidified like funnel to come into. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm reaching out to them so that they can promote for me, I just need that re-solidified funnel based off of all of the notes that I went through with my my business coach. So first 2 emails of funnel revision.
Excellent. Love it. Love it.
All right. What about you?
All right. My goals. So the next section of my checklist for JBit is doing the on-page SEO stuff.
Cool.
Which is frightening because I've learned a lot since the last time I did this only a few months ago. But is maybe okay because maybe most of it's done and I'm just checking on it. We're gonna find out. But I'm gonna do the on-page SEO stuff, like making sure I know it visually looks great. There's nothing different I would change about that. It's just the technical back end. Like, is this text just text, or is it technically a header to Google? Stuff like that. Making sure all that is in line. So that's one goal. The next goal is to finalize the name for this digital marketing company, because rolling on the coattails of JBit is working so far without any real website or at least web presence about digital marketing or having a name that's separate from a computer repair company.
The power of BNI.
We're already getting lots of traction. Thanks, BNI. So finalize a name, and then if I can do that early enough, I think I'm going to start the process of logo design for said company.
That's fun.
Yeah. So those are my goals. So JBit, on-site SEO, finalize name, and then start the logo design process.
Sweet.
I'll probably do what I did last time, which is was it 99 designs or something like that, where I got a bunch of ideas in, and then I got to pick one and work with that designer to finalize.
Yeah.
Finesse one. So I'll probably do that again because it worked out really well. There was like a lot of shitty designs and like 20 really good ones.
Yeah.
And like of those 20, like for marketing reasons, only 5 I really was interested in, but still 5 really good designs that were spot on.
Dude, that is really cool.
So yeah.
2 suggestions with that, since we're kind of there. Think New Mexico. Think New Mexican colors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's a question for you outside of the 10 minutes. Should it be at all related to JBit Tech in terms of color scheme, logo, probably not name, but or should it just be its own thing?
I think it should be its own thing, because if it takes off, you can, and you don't want to do it anymore, you can sell it, and it's harder to sell a business that has your name attached to it versus something that is its complete separate entity. And who knows, maybe right now, like having it as a DBA is worthwhile, and in the future creating its own LLC is going to be worthwhile. So make it its own business now to save yourself, you know what I mean, like in the name and the branding, in all of that, to save yourself the headache later.
Yeah Cool.
Treat it as its own entity.
What? You cut out.
Treat it as its own entity.
Your video was behind your audio right there, so it was really surprising because I didn't see you lift your microphone. I just heard you. Cool, cool. Would you like your Anna Kendrick update?
Yeah.
It's the same as every freaking week.
Maybe she's working, dude. Maybe she's busy and she's not checking her Instagram DMs, you know?
Maybe she's on vacation like everyone else not checking their Instagram DMs. Damn it.
Alrighty, kids. Well, that's it.
Wrap this puppy up?
Yeah, wrap this bitch up.
Do it.
I don't have it right in front of me, so we're going to wait. All right, guys, that is a wrap on Casual Friday. If you have questions, be sure to shoot us an email at unstuck.institute@gmail.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to download the Life Book, designed by us for you to keep the ball rolling on your business, your life, and everything that you do. Download that at unstuck.institute/lifebook. We'll see you here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel on Cash Fry, and be sure to check out Wednesday's episode of the Unstuck Institute podcast, available wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. And on that note, ciao!
Bye, guys.